Full review of the 1080 V12. Let's go. Good morning, YouTube. What's up, everybody? I hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. Today, we're getting down and dirty with a full review of the 1080 V12. For my first run impressions, I had about 8 miles on this shoe, and I have logged some more miles in it, about 50 miles, and I think that I'm about ready to tell you exactly how I feel about this bright yellow shoe. Now, you may remember a couple months back, I did a video on my favorite shoes so far from 2022, and this shoe made the list. So if you want to check out that video and see what other shoes are on that list, you can do so right here. Today, we're just going to talk about how the upper, the midsole, the outsole has held up for me, the pricing on the shoe, if I think it's a fair price, and my conclusion, and then I'll rate it out of 5 stars. 5 being the best, of course. Now, if you want to see more details about the specs and, numbers and data and all that kind of fun stuff, you can do so at the first run impressions video that I did for this shoe, which I will also link right here. So as always, we'll start with the upper. This is kind of like a knitish upper, sort of like that hypo knit that they have used in the past. And it's very stretchy in the forefoot, which is great, but it also has a lot more structure than the previous versions of the 1080. There's much more going on around here, especially in the back heel, and even in the midfoot. We've got a little bit more, just a little bit more there to keep your foot locked down. Now, as far as sizing goes for this shoe, I do think that it's true to size, but it might be a touch long for some of you who prefer a little bit of a snugger fit. I think when I first got this shoe, I thought that maybe it was a little bit long, but I think now, having had this shoe, that it's pretty much fine. It just has a teeny bit of extra length there. So just something to keep in mind. But really, this upper, as you can see, there's really not a scratch on it. A little bit of dirt, but barely here and there, and it's really held up well. I've said in many videos that I'm not really a huge knit person when it comes to running shoes, but I have to say, in the last 2 shoes that I've tried from New Balance that have sort of like knit uppers, I haven't had the problems that I have had previously. And I'm talking about this shoe, the 1080, and the Super Comp Trainer that I recently reviewed on the channel. I think we're heading in the right direction of what a knit upper could be. I feel like width-wise, I have a perfectly fine amount of room. Keep in mind, I have a narrow foot. This shoe may come in wides. Definitely something to check out. I'm not positive about that. But honestly, I don't really have much to say about the upper because it's been totally fine. The breathability is there. Is it the most breathable shoe ever? No. But in the hot summer months, like what we're in right now, my foot hasn't been gasping for air, so that's always a positive. I didn't have any issues with hot spots, blisters, or irritation with the upper of the 1080 V10. And like I said in my first run impressions video, I'll say it again here, I think that they really did improve on this shoe's upper because the last 2 versions were really lacking. So I think it's just trending upward in a positive direction. Now for the midsole of the 1080 V12, we have a big old slab, a hunk of Fresh Foam X foam. I think Fresh Foam X is supposed to be one of their softer foams, and it's definitely soft and very, very comfortable. And like I said in my first run impressions video, I don't know if there's more of it here than in previous versions. There might be, but it just feels better, so it might just be a better composition of the foam. For the time that I've had this shoe, I've been doing mostly easy miles, and it lends itself perfect to that type of run. I really like using 1080s for easy, long days, and the V12, is no different. It's made for that kind of thing. It's really protective. My legs feel fresh afterwards because of that foam under my foot. It's just a soft little beast. Now, I think you can use this for slightly faster things. I mean, not every run I've done in this shoe has been super easy, but I will say about this foam, I think it lacks a little bit of bounce and response. Now, what helps with that, which I've noticed, is that there does feel like there's a little bit of a rocker technology that just helps to roll you forward in your stride. But still, I think this foam could be a little bit more responsive, but I guess that's kind of why they have Feel Cell foam, because that's really like the more responsive foam that New Balance makes. I really do love wearing this shoe though. It is just so comfortable. I just don't think it's going to be great for every kind of run. Now, you might disagree, but that's just been my experience. But that being said, over the course of 50 miles, and I know it's only 50, but I really haven't seen too much degradation of the foam. It feels kind of like just when I got it out of the box. I don't feel like it's dead or kind of starting to die. It feels pretty good. You'd be surprised how many shoes really don't feel so great after 50 miles. Still, I think it is an improvement over the V10 and V11's midsole. I enjoy it. I think you could take this long. I think a lot of people will really like it for those kinds of runs, and I could definitely see this being a marathon shoe for somebody. Moving on down to the outsole. The outsole's got some rubber, you know, love to see it. You got some of it, well, really you have it everywhere, minus this like little patch right here. But this rubber is perfectly fine. I'm not having any issues with it. It still looks great. With 50 miles on it. There's a little bit of wear here and there in the forefoot and in like the toe area, but really not too bad, which you would expect and hope for a shoe that only has 50 miles on it. Traction wise, I think it does just fine on the roads. I really don't have anything to complain about here, so we'll move on over to the price. The New Balance 1080 V10 is $160 on runningwarehouse.com. Well, $159.99. Pricey. Something just crashed outside. Don't know what it was. Anyways, yes, pricey, but I think for all the shoe you're getting here, like all this cushioning and a beefier upper, I think it makes a little bit of sense. I'd love to see a 150, but you know, what are we gonna do? If you're interested in picking up a pair of the 1080 V12s, you can do so at the link in the description of this video. Just keep in mind that is an affiliate link with Running Warehouse, which doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can sit in my bare den and talk about shoes on a Saturday afternoon. So I guess this is kind of a short and sweet video, but that might be a good thing because it means that I don't really have too much negative or anything negative to really say, minus a couple things here and there about this shoe. And for that reason, I'm giving the New Balance 1080 V12 4 out of 5 stars. It does get knocked down a couple points because I do wish that the midsole was maybe a little bit more responsive, a little bit more life in it. But other than that, I think this is a really good workhorse for a lot of people. And if you like the previous versions of the 1080, I can't see why you wouldn't like this one. Although now that I said that, I know I'm going to get lots of comments from people who don't like this shoe. But that's okay. I'm still going to wear it here and there for marathon training for sure. But right now, the Super Comp Trainer from New Balance is kind of like the shoe that I've been wearing for the majority of my runs, and I want to keep it that way because it's not hurting my PF issues. So, but we'll see. I'm sure I'll break out the 1080 V12 for some longer runs in the future. Well, everyone, that concludes my full review of the New Balance 1080 V12. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell so you can find out every time I upload a new video. My stomach has growled like 16 times while I've been filming this video, and hopefully the camera didn't pick it up, but if it did, I apologize. I'm really hungry. I have another video for you tomorrow, actually Monday, my week 4 recap video. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like heller. See you next time. This is likely a short and sweet video because that's what... She agrees. So this is likely a short and sweet video, but I guess that's a good thing because I don't want... Oh my god, dude. So this is likely a short and sweet video, and that's, I guess, a good thing because it means that I don't have too much